We have an official Lauren Sanchez update. Shout out to my producer for this incredible graphic because we're just hooty tooty and ridiculous over here. And I love that we have a graphic. And you guys know me. I'm a little contrarian. I'm a little heterodoxical. I don't hate Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. Yes, are they out of touch, delusional, uber wealthy folks with hundreds of billions of dollars who think they can just like go into space for joyrides? Absolutely. But they own it. And they're like two little cartoon characters. You know, I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. When you see Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos, they're like blowing kisses at the same time. They're waving in unison. They're in little matching outfits. And they seem madly in love. But the thing is this. Lauren Sanchez knows how to work these men. Okay, you can't deny Lauren Sanchez knows how to make these men fall for her and have them eating out of the palm of her little Latina hand. Okay, she knows what she is doing and she's a pro and she's skilled. And there's this clip we uncovered. It's kind of going viral. It's just starting to take off. And it's of Lauren Sanchez interviewing Bill Clinton when she was a host on Extra. You guys know the TV show, the network Extra. It's for celebrities and pop culture. Where Lauren Sanchez, she worked on there back in 2010. I want to play you this interview she had with Bill Clinton.
How did that change you, though? I mean, this is another surgery, basically, that you had to go through, and the first time you changed your diet and your exercise. So, I mean, did it kind of say, okay, I need to change a few more things?
No, they didn't really. What they said was that I had been working too hard and sleeping too little and exercising too little, and I needed to do 6 days a week, not 3 on the exercise, and I need to sleep a little more. So
we know that's not going to happen.
No, we do. Actually, I'm exercising more. I'm sleeping a little more every night, and I'm trying to be even more rigorous about the diet.
Which means,
you know.
Okay, Lauren Sanchez, she would have gone home with Bill Clinton that night. And I don't blame her. Okay, she was kind of doing the googly eyes. She was giving him the, yeah, and what does that mean? And this and that. And there's actually more we might get into in the next episode. But the way she knows how to kind of make Bill Clinton feel important, there were a lot of comments online from women who said she knows what she is doing. Lauren Sanchez, she knows how to make these men feel like they're the center of the universe, even if it's for 5 minutes, like she cares about them. She's not trying too hard. I'll also say with Lauren Sanchez in this clip, she looks great. Lauren Sanchez, she looks nice. Okay, I don't want us to do a side-by-side. We don't need to. We all know she has had somewhat of a transformation since she started hanging out with the Kardashians, because like I said, at that wedding, they had the Kardashians, Lauren Sanchez, all these models. It was like a freaking Tupperware convention over in Venice at that wedding. But nonetheless, my invitation must have gotten lost in the mail. But Lauren Sanchez, she knows how to make these men feel important. She knows how to do the eye contact. And even my producer and friends of mine have said, this is how they used to flirt with guys at bars when they were single. Like Lauren Sanchez, she's in the bar like T-Pain, let me buy you a drink, oh-wee. That's her, okay? She's in the bar, she's flirting, and I think Lauren Sanchez mastered how to get these powerful men to fall for her, right? She also had her own hustle going. One thing about Lauren Sanchez that we don't talk about enough, she's smart, she always worked, she always hustled. And clearly she knew how to hustle to the top because now she's married to a man who has $200 billion in the bank and owns Amazon. So Lauren Sanchez, as much as we want to knock her, and there are many things we could knock her for, that ridiculous Blue Origin ride to space, and I use the word space loosely, she did know what she was doing. She knew how to make these men feel important, how to flirt with them, how to lean in, how to lean back, and even the body language there, you guys can dissect it for yourselves. She knows what she is doing, and she was able to ascend and ascend and ascend. And I think sometimes in society, we hate on these women. Oh, she's a social climber, she's a grifter, she's using these men. So what? Nobody is using Jeff Bezos. People say Lauren Sanchez is social climbing and using Jeff Bezos. He's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and he's like a genius mastermind who owns Amazon, okay? He clearly is not being used if he doesn't want to be used. That's my thing about these women who get vilified sometimes because of, you know, maybe attaching themselves to a wealthy man or using a man to get ahead in their careers. So what? These wealthy, successful men, they're not just, you know, blindly letting this happen. They're letting this woman come in and take over their lives and kind of benefit from that, like we've seen with Prince Harry. People want to blame Meghan Markle for everything that happened, and of course she's culpable too. She's trash. But Prince Harry, as the man who should be the alpha, he allowed her to come in and ruin his relationships with his family. He allowed her to come in and say, let's move to the United States. So people want to always attack Lauren Sanchez like she's this social climbing gold digger. So what? So freaking what? She's walking around with $200 billion on her arm. So clearly she knew what she was doing. Something else she's walking around with on her arm that's gone totally viral, and you guys know, I'm doing the Lauren Sanchez. You guys know I'm not a fashionista. I don't know that much about fashion. Okay, I reach out to some of my more fashionable friends for advice often, but Lauren Sanchez, she's going viral for this little tiny, teeny bag. And I feel like one thing I'm learning about fashion is if the bag is like 2 inches and itsy bitsy, teeny tiny, like a coin purse, it's probably worth way more. So this bag is going viral. It's this Dior rare mini bag that's worth over $15,000. There's some of them that have resold for like $250K, $150K. Ridiculous. Okay, freaking ridiculous. But she was spotted at the Hotel du Cap Eden Rock in Cap d'Antibes Sunday, dressed in a vintage open back Roberto Cavalli gown in bold shades of blue, yellow, and hot pink. And you guys know what I'm gonna say. I think I got a little bit gayer reading that, okay? I think I actually just got a little gayer reading that. She accessorized with high-heeled Aquazzura sandals and a rare Dior mini bag. Now, this is going viral because everybody says, oh my God, this is a gross, excessive display of wealth and capitalism to carry this little itsy-bitsy tiny bag. And the reason we don't have the picture on screen is because I didn't want to spend $500 on the freaking paparazzi shot. But you guys can imagine and look it up for yourselves. You know what Lauren Sanchez looks like, and now you see the bag. But people say this is just an excessive, gross display of wealth in a time when people are hurting. But Lauren Sanchez never said she was going to marry Jeff Bezos and be woman of the people. They give gazillions of dollars to charity. They have their philanthropic endeavors they're passionate about. But Lauren Sanchez just threw a freaking, $60-70 million wedding in Venice and shut down the city. She's not trying to be relatable here, guys. And so I kind of accepted the fact that she owns who she is and Jeff Bezos owns who he is. And they're like little thing one and thing two traipsing around on their jets and their yachts. They're throwing foam parties on the yachts. I accept that she's not trying to pretend to be something she is not. She married a man worth $200 billion. She probably took that credit card out and was like, oh, the bag's $15K, didn't blink once. The personal shopper probably comes in with $1 million worth of clothes to choose from. Easily, nothing. So I understand people say it's a gross, excessive display of wealth. It is, but they're not trying to be something other than they're not. They're not trying to pretend they're one of us and they're down with the get down, okay? It's Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. So we wish them well, and we'll be tracking them. And I want to continue to do these Lauren Sanchez updates because I think she's a fascinating character. She's a woman who later in life, in her 50s, was able to meet a very wealthy man, win him over. They seem to be madly in love, and the relationship seems to be quite equal. So we'll be tracking this. And a lot of folks thought, well, Jeff Bezos, after McKinsey, he's going to date a 22-year-old. He's going to date some, bottle girl from a club. He found a woman who's pretty smart, had her own business, had been hustling. Did they kind of meet having an affair? Not ideal. But we'll be tracking Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos, so we wish you guys well. Last but not least, before we go and pay some bills and go to break, I just want to mention the fact that Kris Jenner also continues going viral because her plastic surgery is settling. You guys remember when we first started this podcast, maybe 21 episodes ago, we talked about the fact Kris Jenner had this major transformation. She even named her plastic surgeon in New York City, which is rare. She's like, this is who I went to. This is what I had done. And now she's posting these pictures that are still edited. Here's the thing with the Kardashians. They have full hair, makeup, plastic surgery, and then their pictures are also highly edited. But Kris Jenner, she's aging in reverse. I don't know if she's like feeding on... I was going to make a really bad joke, but the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. So she's aging in reverse. Her plastic surgery is settling. I feel like we almost need a calendar up in the studio of days until Kris Jenner's surgery is healed. Because plastic surgeons, they always say, oh, it's 6 months to a year until you really see the results. It could take 2 years for everything to settle. We need sort of a countdown calendar, almost like the debt clock. You know how we have the debt clock in the country, we're $36 trillion in debt, $37 trillion in debt. It can be sort of a clock counting down until Kris Jenner's plastic surgery settles. So we wish Kris Jenner well. I think she's 70 years old, 69 years old. She looks great. And it just goes to show you, you're not ugly. You just don't have the budget Kris Jenner and Bella Hadid and all these rich celebrities have. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. It's you're actually not bad looking. You just don't have $1 million to spend going under the knife for 12 hours to come out with a total facial transplant like the Kardashians.